Hi, I'm Cameron. I just read comics. I love them, and welcome back to another episode of Cameron Reads Comics. Today, I am stuck in a hotel room for work, and I am watching YouTube videos because I'm bored and it's nighttime. So let's go see what Matt Fraction is picking in this comic book couples counseling video series called The Stacks. It's a Criterion Closet kind of video series where they have writers and artists come through Third Eye Comics and on the East Coast. I think it's in Maryland. They go to Third Eye Comics and they go pick out some of their favorite books. So let's go check it out. I love Matt Fraction. Just want to say that. Here we go.
I'm Matt Fraction. I write Batman, and I'm here in the Stacks at Third Eye Comics. This is one of my favorite books of the last year. It's called Drome by Jesse Lonergan. And
okay, already. Drome, I was at the Eisner Awards this year. Drome won so many flipping awards. It was like insane. Like, I will buy it just based on the sheer amount it was. And Jesse Lonergan seems like the coolest guy. So this is a good one already.
I think Jesse is a generational talent. I don't know how else to describe it or to describe the work. This book is a feast. It is everything that comics can do and a bunch of things I didn't know comics can do. And I feel like I learn something or pick up some new trick, see something new and incredible every time I look at it. I love all of Jesse's work. He's done some stuff in the Hellboy universe and a bunch of other graphic novels and standalone works. He does Risograph comics, and I don't know. Jesse is absolutely incredible. I will read whatever this guy does the rest of his life and the rest of mine, and certainly my life will be better off for it. So if you've not seen it, it's Eisner nominated this year. Be sure to come find it, check it out. You will not be sorry. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's I have to stop looking at it because I'm just going to start reading it again. So anyway, Drome by Jesse Lonergan. Let's see. Oh, let's talk about this. Oh, look, the adaptation of Slaughterhouse-Five by.
It's by Ryan North, and it started out really good. I actually had a personal tragedy in my life. No big deal. It sounded way more dramatic than it was, but read it at a hard point, and it was really good, but I had to stop and put it down. So I think now it's a couple years later, and I'm going to go pick this up because now Matt Fraction, who I adore, is recommending it.
Ryan North and Albert Montes, who are two of the smartest folks working in comics. I was lucky to work with Albert on a graphic novel based on the Jonathan Colton record Solid State. It's called Solid State. That's how I got to know Albert. Ryan, I knew as a fan from the internet. I've gotten to know him. Ryan's very tall. A lot of people don't know this about Ryan.
Yes.
He's very large. And for a Canadian, you can tell it's awkward because they're so sort of apologetic in nature that Ryan eats up 6 feet and 6 inches of space in his daily life. Makes him uncomfortable. And I think that discomfort translates to his work. I love Kurt Vonnegut. And I love Slaughterhouse-Five. It's one of those novels that if I ever pick it up and just start flipping through it, I'm going to read it all the way through. So the idea of it being adapted to a graphic novel was curious and interesting, and probably a little fearful. Not like it would change the book. I just didn't want to. The brilliant thing is this is its own thing, and I would like to believe that Kurt Vonnegut, wherever he is, would smile at the idea of someone not slavishly adapting word for word, beat for beat, the novel, but rather taking the experience of the novel and turning it into something new. And Ryan and Albert did so brilliantly. If you're a fan of Vonnegut, if you're a fan of Slaughterhouse-Five, if you're a fan of comics, if you're a fan of anything, you should read this. It's really great. It came out a few years ago from Archaea and Boom. And oh look, Chip Zdarsky has a pull quote. He didn't ask me for a pull quote. Oh, this is a great book from last year.
Just want to say really quick that book again, it's really good. Ryan North is an incredible, and like the way that he could play with an adaptation is really cool. I also interviewed him briefly about that book, so go check out my interview with Ryan North. I could cry. He is the best.
Keezy Young's Hello Sunshine, also Eisner nominated. Keezy is incredible. This is one of those kind of books that came out of nowhere for me. I sort of didn't it sort of landed as this fully formed and incredible kind of young graphic novelist with spectacular things to say and a way to say them. It's a kind of young adults growing up. Someone's missing. I don't even want to spoil the thrill of the surprises or the richness of this book, but for something like this to feel like it just kind of fell fully formed out of somebody is like, oh, you're going to be someone to pay attention to. But this is one I love this book absolutely. It just occurred to me that this and Jerome, are they nominated in the same Eisner category? Oh, Love is a Battlefield. Well, you know what? Who wins? We, the readers, win. But Kesey is terrific, and just can't wait to see what comes next. And this is just such a singular reading experience. I loved it. Hello Sunshine, check it out. It's really great. Fantagraphics has recently begun reprinting Corto Maltese, which is one of those things that I knew it as a kid. It was like a throwaway line in Dark Knight Returns. They named like an island Corto Maltese, and it was always this kind of thing. And I remember seeing ads for NBM would print these. Hugo Pratt is an Italian guy who had an incredible life before he became a cartoonist, and has sort of poured his youthful era of adventuring into this. And Corto is a sailor, a sort of man of adventure who goes from port to port around the world and has adventures and sees things and does stuff, which is really underselling it. But NBM printed them up back in the 80s, and then IDW, I think, reprinted them with new translations. Dinah Schutz oversaw, so they were really, really great translations. And now Fantagraphics is republishing them in a little bit more of an American-sized format, rather than the kind of album shape. But they're stellar and terrific. And something about the way Pratt draws is very noodly. It's the best. I think is maybe the best thing you can say perhaps about an Italian cartoonist. Is like it's very noodly. It's very pasta oriented. If you're a fan of Alex Toth, you might find a lot to love here. But these books have been with me for a long time, and I love that they remain in print and available. Like the first time I went to Europe, I'd always heard about what comics were like over there and thought, oh man, I hope maybe I'll be able to find some Hugo Pratt. I hope maybe if I dig around it. And yeah, man, it was everywhere. But you read this book and you'll understand why. There are things like Corto Maltese ashtrays and merch in the European markets. Anyway, yeah, I love this book. And I'd give anything if my sideburns could do that, but they don't. Corto Maltese and William Shatner have the best sideburns. You can look that up.
Hey, write that down.
It's on. You can Bing it. You can find it. It's true. Oh, you know what? You know whose sideburns do that are Paul Pope's. Paul Pope had a Corto Maltese phase, which was really infuriating to see that a human could actually do that. But like many things Paul Pope does, it's infuriating. THB in the best way, infuriating in the best way. My exposure to THB began my first week working retail in comics when THB 1.2 came out. Paul put out 5 issues and then sort of reworked the first one, and it began this kind of conversation he was having with his work as he would go, and he had worked on this whole sort of saga and would put it out in fits and starts and bits and pieces and go back, and it kind of was all this chronologic kind of presentation over the course of his career, and recently he's begun a series of putting them out in collection sort of for the first time, again further remixed and tweaked and remastered, so someone out there some point will take all of their Paul Pope books and point out all the differences between all the different versions. But this collects, it's not even fair to say issues, but it's the first chunk of THB. The second volume comes out I think in July, and then the third in December. And it will be lovely to have it all in one kind of uniform place on a bookcase. The other thing too is Paul is so kind of exploratory as a creator. Like he would do big giant books this big, and then like he put out a thing that was like the size of a CD record, a CD case, and all that kind of stuff. So to see it all put together and collected and collated, and look, sometimes it's vertical, sometimes it's horizontal, sometimes it's pencils, sometimes it's ink wash, but it's fantastic. The shortest pitch for it is like Wednesday on Mars. So I think there's a big audience that hasn't seen this yet because it's been in such a diffuse array of formats. The idea that this is all kind of collected in one place is great, but it is God, it's sort of like hearing like Pixies with the Velvet Underground for the first time for me. It was one of those experiences of picking up a comic totally cold, not knowing what I was in for, and coming out kind of changed on the other side with the it's interesting. I think you can kind of see that connection through all of these people we've been talking about so far. But anyway, I love that this exists in a permanent edition that you don't have to send people fishing for on eBay or whatever. So THB, if you've never experienced it, check it out because it's great.
Matt Fraction is someone who knows like a lot about the medium of comics, and I just mean he knows how to format the books. He knows how the panel sequence goes. Like he just really knows the medium, and then thus how to play with it. So while I don't really have much to say about these recommendations, they sound really cool. To see him be such a fan of the craft, and then to hear about his influences is just really, really awesome. You know, the last two books he's showcased are like just black and white, which is pretty cool.
Oh, here we go. Oh, look at this. Nemesis the Warlock. I know there are big, lovely editions in color that are being done now through 2000 AD. This was a first given to me by Kieran Gillen in the first of many kind of cultural exchanges between our peoples. And boy, don't know how to describe this to anyone, but if you like my stuff and you like Kieran Gillen's stuff, boy, there's a lot of where we come from in this book, I think. It's Pat Mills and Kevin O'Neill, rest in power. Kevin O'Neill, of course, the only person who was banned by the Comics Code Authority just because they didn't like his style. It didn't matter what he drew or what the content was. They just thought he was inappropriate. This was a 2000 AD.
And listen, he's such like a historian. It's good in a different way than Mark Waid is, or like Kurt Busiek. So this is just interesting.
Serial that started in I think 77 or 78, somewhere in there, and quickly became this expansive science fiction kind of saga. I'm not actually talking about when I'm not. That's fine. I'm not a retailer anymore. I don't have to sell this stuff. I just have to tell you I love it. I love this book. I love these books. I love that they're big, beautiful editions you can get over here. I think the American comics marketplace never had the sort of weekly 2000 AD thing that they had in England, and that form of working in short stories that tell bigger stories is a skill that we don't have. And I don't know, I think you can see a lot of where comics are now started here, and because it was so hard to find over here for so long, it seemed kind of, where did this come from? You know, the British wave of folks and all that. Like it all started in 2000 AD, and it all started with guys like Pat Mills and Kevin O'Neill doing Nemesis the Warlock. Zoe Thorogood's It's Lonely at the Center of the Earth.
Okay, wow. The first indie book that I grabbed that I absolutely adore. I think this is a maybe might be, it's on my Mount Rushmore of indie comics. On the right day, it is my favorite indie comic. I loved it so much. I bought a page from this book, and I have my comic shop found out I loved it so much that they gave me the poster that they were using to retail, which will be hung up eventually in whatever comic book dojo I have by then.
This came out a few years back and is boy, you know, I was talking to my goddaughter and told her that there was going to come a day when she watched Saturday Night Live and wouldn't know who the musical guest was. And she was like, what? And I was like, and then you're going to watch Saturday Night Live, you're not going to know who the host is. And she was like, what? This had a sort of similar feeling of like, this made me feel old, like in the best way. But it was like, oh, there's a whole generation of creators who have an idiom that have developed in a way entirely removed from mine, right? And we're working in the same field, but like, I don't know how you make this book. I don't know how you draw it. I don't know how you think about it. I don't know how, like, it's just not where I come from. And
which is like so funny to hear from him in particular, because it is, again, just like a deconstruction of comics as a medium, and makes it the most, like, the way it showcases through imagery and panel layout, like emotion, something that he does in a different way. Like, it's just, he's saying, I don't know how to deconstruct the book the way she does. I'm like, but you do like, I'm shocked to find out he doesn't know how to do that, which just showcases he offers a different style in the same medium, which is incredible. Like, he's not, this is why we're watching.
And so I love it. It's just a passionate and incredibly idiosyncratic and realized articulation of things I don't know how to say. If you gave me $1 million in 10 years, I couldn't come up with something that comes close to replicating what the kind of work that Zoe does. We don't necessarily share influences or experiences, and yet we share this medium, and yeah, it's magic. That's the thing I love about comics, is I can still be surprised by them, and it's creators like Zoe Thorogood who make the work that surprises me and excites me, and you know, all the stuff that I like, all the stuff I'm talking about is like nothing like what I tend to do, right? And that's the stuff that inspires me the most. And this was really deeply inspirational. The kind of book, in the best way, that makes me think like, oh, I need to do better, right? I need to get out and figure new things out, because there are moves that I don't understand. It's got to be like the first time. It's got to be like, what? I wish there was footage of like the first time someone like did a slam dunk in the NBA, like what the reaction must have been the first time somebody dunked. It feels like that. Like I feel like, what? I didn't know you could do that. So yeah, Zoe's terrific. This is I don't know, this kind of declaration that there's like a major voice and talent in the field, and they're doing things that mystify and amaze me. So find it; it's worth it.
She's
one.
Incredible.
And here's the thing. So I've been talking about Batman a lot for the last year, and I've never lied, but I have omitted
what's happening?
A truth when I'm asked the first time somebody dunked. It feels like that. Like I feel like, what? I didn't know you could do that. So yeah, Zoe's terrific. This is, what's your favorite Batman? Omitted a truth when I'm asked, what's your favorite Batman book? Or one of them, you know, I list off stuff, and it's true, and I love all of them, but there's one I haven't talked about. And I haven't talked about it because it's not actually a DC comic, and I don't want the creators to get in trouble, and I don't want the book to go away. So we're going to bear with me here. This book is called like a bootleg Batman story. It collects 3 comics that these guys did that are a sort of it's not quite a parody, it's not quite satire, because it's more than that. But it's a story about Batman, and it's a story about the Joker, and maybe a nuclear apocalypse. And it is such a work of love. Like, I don't think you can do something like this without loving the source material that you're kind of riffing on. And it is hilarious and dark and
I'm trying to look at the fine.
well observed and funny and scary and gross and weird and absolutely unlike any other Batman story I've ever read, but also exactly like the best Batman stories you've read, just done through a way and a lens and a perspective and a toolkit that you can't do when you're actually doing Batman comics. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm jealous because I know that I can't actually do anything like they do in this. So, but I don't, we're going to call the store, contact Third Eye. There will be links. I don't know.
I want to know.
Internet. And say, hey, what was Matt's weird Batman book? I want to try that. Give it a shot. You're going to love it. If nothing else, you've never read anything like it. And it's secretly kind of one of my favorite Batman comics.
And this is the writer of Batman, ladies and gentlemen.
And don't get these guys in trouble. It's too good. It's too good. Let this exist. Let this live. Let this be cool. I'm going to go get lost in the stacks. My corpse will be over there for whoever comes next. Josh Williamson. I don't know. Come find me. Thanks, everybody.
I really love him. Okay, redacted. Let's go comb through the comments really quick and find out. Let's see if they mention it. What that Batman book is. Ooh, Nick Dragata and Josh Williamson. Okay, I have more of these to do. This guy seems really smart. Glasses. Now you get to see this documentary, by the way, this Edward Baker doc. Oh my gosh. All-time favorites, Bat Fraction. Nobody's saying what. Okay. Okay. All right. Nobody tried to guess what the redacted book was, so I guess we'll find out next time. I'm gonna go to bed because if you didn't notice, I was yawning. But my name's Cameron. I'll just read comics. I love them, and I also love the comics that my favorite creators talk about. So yeah, this has been Cameron Reads Comics, but I get inspired by my favorite creators and what I'm gonna read next. So, alrighty, see you guys next time.